The rain may have delayed the race in Las Vegas last weekend, but the wind did nothing to deter the drivers at the Kobalt 400. Kurt Busch led the field from his second consecutive pole, but fell behind after a pit road speeding penalty during the first round of pit stops. Brad Keselowski lost some grip getting into the pits and was busted later for speeding. Kyle Larson brought out the yellow flag twice. The wind kept blowing, delaying a green flag a couple of laps due to a sandstorm. Vegas native Kyle Busch made an impressive pass for the lead before his teammate Matt Kenseth lost control and got hit by Chase Elliott. Kyle Busch's luck seemed to run out with 6 laps to go when he was passed by Brad Keselowski. Keselowski jumped ahead, weaving through lap traffic to win the Kobalt 400, the 18th win of his career. Before we get to the gaming, let me just say that I do not like Brad Keselowski. I think he's a dirty racer, as we can see here by the way he got his first win back in 2009. Several drivers have called him out for his occasional dirty move, including Denny Hamlin, Matt Kenseth, and most famously, Sprint Cup champions Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon. But enough about my personal feelings, let's go racing at Phoenix! Welcome back to Sidebirds of Doom Gaming for the Good Sam 500 from Phoenix International Raceway. This race is actually going to be 500 kilometers in real life instead of the 500 laps or miles, which will actually be the same thing at this track. It runs like a short track, but it's a mile long. The green flag is in the air, with teammates Matt Kenseth and Denny Hamlin battling it out at the front. Today's featured driver is Brad Keselowski, who started the race in 5th. And the caution is out for the first time as Brad Keselowski gets into Kyle Busch, taking Greg Biffle with him. Watch this replay. Kyle Busch didn't have a chance. And he gets hit by Kyle Larson, who had himself a rough week in real life last week in Vegas.
The safety crews are clear of the track.
Brad Keselowski will restart from the 4th position on the outside. Denny Hamlin will restart from the lead. And the green flag is back out with Denny Hamlin and Ryan Newman at the front. Going around the tri-oval, which is the backstretch on this track, a very unusual feature. And it's more trouble! Matt Kenseth gets turned around by Brad Keselowski. In the immortal words of the crew chief from Talladega Nights, he's driving like a pissed-off teenager. And that was edited very wrong.
The road is now open. What do you...
So I hope the audience here will forgive me. Brad Keselowski will restart from the 3rd position, with Ryan Newman in the lead. And Ty Dillon filling in for the injured Tony Stewart right behind him. There's Kevin Harvick, who has a very impressive history here at Phoenix. He's got, I believe it's 7 wins at Phoenix, including... Oh, we have another caution caused by Brad Keselowski. Taking a look at this replay, Austin Dillon got into the wall. Kyle Busch hit him. I couldn't quite tell who that was on the inside wall.
Racetrack's clear. The road will be open this time.
And wow, I did a horrible job with editing this.
Okay, here we go.
Keselowski lost some positions in that crash. And he's brought out all 3 of the cautions today. Green flag is out and Ryan Newman is in the lead. It looks like Keselowski's being a little more careful. 55 takes the lead, formerly from Michael Waltrip Racing, driven by Brian Vickers. And someone skidded, but there is no caution. And it looks like we're going to manage to get through a lap without any crashes for Brad Keselowski. He's going to try and pass on the inside. He hits the pit wall, and he flips over. The caution is out for the 4th time, and Brad Keselowski is on his roof. There's no way he's continuing the race past this point. This is something we've never actually seen at Phoenix, but we have seen Brad Keselowski in one flip. It seemed to be retaliation after he had flipped Carl Edwards for his first win, because it was in fact caused by Carl Edwards.
Way to go, boys!
Brad Keselowski went to the pits. He is actually back on the track. He got some repairs to his car. It seems like he's getting through with fairly significant cosmetic damage, but otherwise it looks like he'll be doing just fine. The green flag is back out at lap 10 with Martin Truex Jr. taking the lead, contender for last year's Sprint Cup. And Brad Keselowski is hitting everybody in his way. The 55 car is back in the lead. And he gets by Harvick, the former champion. Fun fact, Brad Keselowski was actually already pretty drunk on Miller Lite by the time he got his interview for it right after he won the Sprint Cup in 2012. This game allows the option to drive the number 2 car with the Miller Lite logos as long as you verify that you are over 21. But I decided to use the censored logo, so today Brad Keselowski is driving in the Blue Deuce number 2 car. On lap 13, Martin Truex Jr. is still in the lead. Keselowski seems to be taking a little more care as he passes through the field to advance in his positions. He hit someone there. 4 or 5 wide down the front stretch. Three wide into that corner. He gets into the back of Biffle, still no caution, and Harvick advances even more. Keselowski grazes the wall, and we get to lap 16. We are now past the halfway point at the Good Sam 50. I stand corrected. The halfway point is the backstretch here. And he puts Michael McDowell in the wall. If I ever get requests to race as Michael McDowell, we'll get to cover a very violent wreck he was involved in a qualifying run at Texas in 2008. And Keselowski's going to duck down into the pits. Matt Kenseth has the lead elsewhere on the track. There's no question about it. Keselowski's going to lose a lap here, but he'll most likely regain it when everyone else completes their pit cycles. There's Danica Patrick right behind him, previously featured on this channel. And there's the Blue Deuce crew for Brad Keselowski's pit stop. And Keselowski is back on the track, one lap down, with the 55 car in the lead at lap 19, 20 now. While the lead cars are on lap 20, Brad Keselowski gets on to lap 19. Brad Keselowski's car just isn't running well since that big accident earlier. And rookie Chase Elliott takes the lead in the famous number 24 car, previously driven by the now retired Jeff Gordon. Chase Elliott has actually made some pretty good runs. Unfortunately, he's wrecked out of 2 of the last 3 races, but in the third one, he got a top 10. And he was going for a top 10 run before he hit Matt Kenseth last weekend. Fellow rookie Ryan Blaney did end up in the top 10. Keselowski's going to try and hold off Carl Edwards and Denny Hamlin. There went Kyle Busch, involved in 2 wrecks earlier. And yet another mistake in my editing as the counter of laps is reset to 1. I apologize to all my audience. Edwards gets into the back of Keselowski. Caution is out. Keselowski's going to lose a lot of positions here. Here's the replay. This is the 5th caution of the day. Back on the restart, Keselowski will be at the tail of the field, but he will be on the lead lap. He got the lucky dog pass. Other cars are not on the lead lap. Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick are battling it out for the lead while we follow the rear of the field. He's going to try and get around Paul Menard. In the Menards Chevrolet with Richard Childress Racing. And yes, there is a relation. You can look it up. 5 laps to go at Phoenix. Keselowski just tried threading that needle again between the cars and the pit wall, and that time it worked out for him, except he didn't actually gain any positions, but he came out of it on all 4 wheels. Ryan Newman is in the lead, and he's battling for the lead with Kevin Harvick. Keselowski gets ahead of Jeffrey Earnhardt, nephew of Dale Earnhardt Jr. laps to go at Phoenix International Raceway. And Keselowski's kind of in his own pack there. And the caution is out again as he spins yet another car out. This time it was the 98 of Cole Witt in the Dogecoin car. Much spin, very disappointment. Wow. We're going to go to a green-white checkered finish. Starting this year, the green-white checkered finish has been replaced by overtime. There are unlimited overtime laps. The only objective with overtime is to try and make it halfway around the track without wrecking. If you make it past that halfway mark, the next checkered or yellow flag will end the race. And just like before, after the white flag, the next checkered or yellow flag will end the race. It looks like Ryan Newman is still doing great. There went the 7 into the wall. White flag is out. Keselowski down on the apron, trying to make a pass. Trying to pass the 51, formerly driven by Justin Allgaier. Out of turn 4, Ryan Newman is going to win at Phoenix. And Brad Keselowski manages to eke out a top 20 finish in 16th place. So the prediction here looks like we're going to have Keselowski involved in early wrecks, but be able to come back for a top 20. Ryan Newman finishes first, Austin Dillon in second, Chase Elliott third, Greg Biffle fourth, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Clint Bowyer, the 55 car, Casey Kane, and rounding out the top 10 is the 20 of Matt Kenseth. Thank you for watching Sideburns of Doom Gaming, and be sure to vote for who I should drive as in next week's race.